So my kids are 7-year-old and soon to be a 4-year-old in 2 weeks. So second grade, starting first communion stuff, and then just really gonna come into preschool, so both my kids are at Resurrection. I was telling these guys earlier that Wendy, was it probably a month or 2 ago, invited me to come speak and do this presentation to the moms group, and just really helping them get balance. Their whole theme of that was all about balance. So it was funny because as I'm, prepping for this, and I'm thinking of all the, things I have. I'm a business owner, so I'm a chiropractor, I'm a doctor, and a business owner, and a mom, and a wife, and a friend, and all this stuff, and I'm like, holy cow, like, in my journey of my life, I realized how much, as I'm prepping for this, how much I've really had to work on this. So I don't want you guys to think like, oh my God, she has it all together, and it was so easy for her, and, I'm a basket case most of the time, and, my kids are running late a lot of the times, but what I've realized in the last 8 years that I've worked on this, that it's balance is really unbalanced, It was kind of funny because, so, the kind of a back history of me, in 2006, I got married to my husband. Hi! In 2006, I got married to my husband, that we had never lived in the same city together as we dated. And that was in November of 2006, February of 2007, I graduated chiropractic school. May of 2007, I opened up my first practice, and then September of 2008, I had my first baby. So, it's funny as I laugh and I say balance, it's like my mom used to tell me, like, only do one big thing a year, right? Like, just get a baby done and then figure out the practice. And in the span of literally 2 years, I probably did some of the stuff that nobody should do. So, after about 6 months of my Margaret, who's 7 years old, I thought I was doing really good. And I'm hoping you guys have had a moment like this in your life. Like I have a life coach, and I have coaches for my business, and I have people who help me all the time, and so I had a call with them. So I think the call was at like 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning. I'm like, okay, so I got my little 6-month-old, I'm gonna get her fed, I'm gonna get her diapers changed, I'm gonna get some laundry put away, I'm gonna do all this stuff before the phone call so she can call me, my coach, and I can be like, oh, life is great, I'm good, I got everything under control. And of course, that's not what happens, right? So I'm literally in my closet. Margaret had already thrown up on me that morning. She's screaming like crazy. I'm running late. The laundry's everywhere. And here, lo and behold, the coach calls. Hey, Abby, how's it going? And what do? I just start bawling, Like we've all had that moment, whether it's, yeah, right? Exactly. That was the first kind of breakdown I've ever had, that I literally was like, I can't do it. How do moms do it? How do dads do it? And what was cool about it was that was where my journey began, to find balance. And really to find peace in balance. And so bless her heart, because she's a chiropractor, she has 4 kids. So here I'm screaming at her with 1 kid, and she's got 4. And, and I'm like, how do you do all of this? And so she really broke it down for me into pretty much 3 simple things. So I want to kind of help you guys with this. And like I said, so now Margaret's 8 years old, or 7 years old. It's been taking me 7 years to pretty much get this. And I would say sometimes I'm not even good at it most days. So I'm hoping that just in the next 40 minutes or so, you can take away one tidbit. If you just take one thing that helps you make life a little bit easier, or not like your closet moments, like I call them. Like if you have less closet moments, that's kind of the key with all of this. So I like to bring scripture into it. So this is what my notes are, because it's hard to believe, but I do not have the Bible memorized. So, but one of the big things that she had talked to me about was planning. And if you knew me 8 years ago, I was very on the whim kind of thing. Like, what do I have to do today? Kind of concept. And she really had to teach me that you have to plan your day. So do you guys have, just kind of dialogue with me, you guys have your own kind of planning system? Do you have a schedule that you write out? Do you have it on a board? How do you do it? Do you have a notebook? Do you have it on the phone? What do you guys use?
On my phone, and basketball schedule on the fridge, and those schedules are posted.
Yep, good. Phone.
And our phone is tagged between my husband and I, and whichever child it affects.
Perfect. What about you, and you guys? Same thing? So I'm old school because I just got the whole phone kind of schedule. Like I'm a paper girl. Like I'm, I don't have I literally don't even own a tablet. I don't own an iPad. I'm like still writing stuff out. So for me, it was literally every single day to the 15-minute. I wrote, what was I doing? Wake up, brush my teeth, get ready, say my prayers, take the girls here, see patients here, eat lunch here. I mean, to the T, I was doing that. And lo and behold, I think it's about a year and a half I've been having it on my actual phone, which makes life so much easier because yes, I didn't know that you can sync it to your husband's account or you can give it to your nanny or, not that I have a nanny, but whoever, and they can actually look at where you are. My people who work for me have my account. Like I don't leave anything out there. Everybody knows where's Dr. Abby at. They'll know I'm here right now. They know I was eating dinner with my family right before, So when you plan, you have to plan for success, okay? And we all have different systems. Whatever that system is, if you're not planning and you don't know where you need to be, then you're constantly worrying where you're at. And that was, for me, was one big thing because I was like, I know where I need to be right now. But if you told me where are you going tomorrow or the next day or where you're at, I have no idea. And a big thing she taught me was be where your hands are, okay? I don't know, anybody else ever get stressed out? I always got stressed out when I was at my office that I wasn't spending enough time with my kids. Or if I was with my kids, I'm not with my husband. Or if I'm with my husband, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing enough for my patients. Does anybody ever have that feeling? So the one big, it makes me feel better than other people,
Totally.
Right?
I think it's a mom thing.
I think it's a mom thing, and I don't know, maybe it's a dad thing, I don't know.
But I know it's a mom thing.
Dads are like, we don't worry at all, right? That's your job. Do you feel that?
No, I think that's a nice stereotype to think about, but no.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. What do you ever worry that you're not putting enough time into other things, or while you're here, you're thinking of all the 18 other things you need to do?
Yeah, I'm human. I'm like
Yeah.
1 degree from everybody.
Yeah.
Whether you're male or
Perfect.
female,
Perfect. And you know what? I'm glad you said that because you're the first male that I've done this conversation to. So this is good because all I know is how a woman, works. So it's good to know that. I think what we always are trying to do is we're always trying to be perfect. So we're always trying to say, let's be perfect. So let's try to one step ahead think. Where really, when reality is, if we could just be where our hands are. I'm a chiropractor, so I use my hands all day long. So there was a good analogy for me that if I'm here with you guys, I put my 100% into you guys. 20 minutes ago when I was with my kids, I didn't even think about this place. I was like, we're gonna play together, we're gonna watch TV together, we're gonna eat dinner together. And so for me, it was like, I'm not gonna waste any time with the people that I'm with, thinking about other things. And what helped me do that was my planning. So I knew earlier this afternoon I had some free time. I prepped during my free time, which I had planned last week, that I was going to prep at that time so that when I came home, I had my kid time. Now, some people say what? That's a pain in the rump, right? That's too much work. That's the first thing I always thought when she said, you start planning, it's too much work. I'm like, I just want to do what I want to do. I just want to have that free time. And she said, you'll free up more time when you plan, than when you just go freely at it. So wherever your hands are, if you just took the next month and took your hands wherever they were and focused on that. And I think that's why God puts our hands there, where your legs, your eyes, whatever you want to put it, because we have to be whole wherever we're at. It's cool in Matthew, the one thing that, like I said, I don't have this memorized here, so. And what I like too is because, we use the Bible as a source for us to kind of say, okay, what does God and Jesus say? In Matthew it says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. So each day has enough trouble on its own. I thought that was powerful, because it's like, okay, I don't even know if tomorrow's going to come, so why would I waste my precious time with you? Me and Katie went to high school together, we fly by each other, we hardly ever talk, so why would I waste time catching up with her for 3 minutes, thinking about all the other stuff I need to do? So when we follow the biblical part of it, plan. So if you don't have a plan, then you can't succeed. If your plan is good, then keep doing it. If you think you need a little bit work on it, schedule some time to actually work on that plan. I have now started getting my kids involved in this. Call me crazy, but I want my kids to plan at a young age so that it becomes part of their growing up instead of being 36 years old and going, how the heck do you plan anything, you know? So Sunday nights we set out, we have one on our schedule on our refrigerator, and it's on a whiteboard, and Maggie actually writes down the dates and the things. What are you doing today, Mommy? Where do you have to go? You know, Daddy, what are you doing? My husband's Mazzucchelli band director, so he's doing show choir and concerts and all. So she knows where they're at, we know where at, and then we'll ask her, what do you have? And she's like, well, I have dance on Tuesday, and I have, you know, I'm singing into this, you know, so she knows it. So again, planning for the future as we plan together that way. And most importantly, be with your hands. Now, here's the thing though, if your schedule's like mine, has anybody ever thought, again, we talked about I don't spend enough time with my kids, or I don't spend enough time with blank. So this is my big thing, because I'm always a what if kind of girl, you know. Tell me to plan, but I'm gonna say, yeah, but, or, well, that sounds really good, but, you know. And so one of the big questions I had for her was, well, that's all fine and dandy. I said, but my kids are young, you know, and aren't you supposed to spend a lot of time with your kids? You know, you want to make sure they're really strong and they grow up. And so she really taught me the difference between quality and quantity. And this has been huge for me. Because, again, AKA, tonight, prime example, you know, I went to work at 7:30 this morning. I worked until 4:15. I picked them all up. We ate dinner, I come back here, and then my husband's putting them to bed, so I won't see them again. So I really got to spend about, you know, 30, 40 minutes with them. And some people would think at the beginning, what? Oh my God, that's not a lot of time with your kids. You know, you work long hours. I put in 50 plus hours last week. How are your kids gonna do that? And then you have mom guilt or dad guilt. You know, oh my God, my kids aren't gonna see me. And so when I talked to her about this, the big thing she talked to me about was quality versus quantity. You have to realize, do you guys all have old, I know you said you had older kids. How old are your kids? Ages? 8 and 11?
Middle school and college.
Okay.
10 and 13.
How old are your kids?
Middle school and grade school.
Okay.
5 and 7.
Okay, so your guys' kids are a little bit older than mine, so my assumption is, do your kids want to spend all the time with you? Like hours upon hours upon hours with you, right? She like laughs. You know, it's funny because in our mentality, don't you think, we're like, oh, our kids want to spend all this time with us, right? They want to be with us all day long. And you know, maybe a 3-year-old does, but as they get older, they really don't. What do they really want though? They don't want to just sit next to you on a couch while you're on your phone and I'm on my phone, you know, where we're just sitting watching a movie. What do they really want? They want quality. They want that bonding. They want that love. They want the sense of, hey, Dad took some time out to play basketball with me for 15 minutes. After about 15 minutes, they're like, dude, I'm out of here. My friends just called, you know, or hey, can I go do this? And so the big thing that helped me was realize I can work 50 hours, or I can go do a talk for an hour, or I can go with my friends, but I have to schedule quality one-on-one time with my kids. What does that mean? We shut the TV off. That's a big thing. We don't have we don't have iPads, and we don't even have internet in my house. I'm crazy, and that's not, you don't, oh God, everybody looks at me like, you seriously? But we don't, because I don't like it yet. I'm sure I'll have to have it at some point, but what's that?
Good books.
Yeah, but I just think for me, technology, though there's so many good things, it's really taking away personal one-on-one connections. And I don't know about anybody else, you can be as book smart as you want to be, but if you don't know how to talk one-on-one to people, you're hardly going to get anywhere in life. And for me, I'd rather teach my kid, read him a book, I'd rather teach him how to have a conversation, I'd rather have that, you know, feel that love than just say, hey, let's play a game on the iPad, you know? So be conscious of that when you look at your quality time or your time. Don't have the guilt, associate and say, are we really spending good time together? And or do we need to just not spend, all that time together? So what do? We plan things, We love the show The Goldbergs. I don't know why, it's just one of our favorite shows. So we sit down and we watch that all the time, but how do we do it? Sometimes we make our house into a movie theater. Sometimes we all get our pajamas on. Sometimes we do different fun things with it. We have a book that we read, it's a question book. The guy who wrote the 5 love languages, I don't know, I can't think of his name, do you remember? I know. He came out with this book that was 101 conversation starters for families. And so we'll pull that book out, and we'll just, all 4 of us will pick one question. And that, again, takes 10 minutes. By that time, both kids are gone. But at least, we got to have that moment together, the quality time. So that way then we plan that into, again, as it kind of comes through, we plan it, and then we move on from there. So, and then the other thing is that I always tell people is you have to look at the bigger picture, okay? You're not a bad parent if this week you hardly spend any time with your kids. Because if next week there's going to be a lot of time that you're going to be able to have that time with them, you have to look at the bigger picture. So what she taught me was look at your life in months, not in days. Oh my God, it's tax season. I'm literally getting there at 7 in the morning. I won't get home till 8 o'clock at night. I'll never get to see them. But maybe on Friday, you're like, okay, I can get out early. You look at that bigger picture and you tell your family that. That's what communication is all about. Hey man, I know we're not going to see, that's what I told them tonight. I know I'm not going to see you guys tonight, but tomorrow I get to pick you up. Tomorrow we're going to do this. And you know what? And you tell them why you're doing it. So bigger picture, and then you have to check yourself, right? Did I spend enough time? Did I do quality? Did I not? Where am I at? Always constantly check and balance yourself as you go through all of this too. So that was a big one for me because I got to let go of a lot of guilt. And then I got to be able to serve and do my purpose bigger because now I can come to a talk, or I can go to a patient's house if they need me, or I can meet them on the weekends because now my kids know, and then boom, we got this other time scheduled there too. Last one. I'm kind of flying through this, so if you guys have questions, holler at me. Okay, Corinthians. The last one that I found, and maybe you guys are the same way, do you guys put every single person in your life in front of you before yourself? Right. That's a given. That comes along, I think, with the title of being a parent. So one of the things that when I was having my breakdown, it was like, well, I never get to do this anymore. I'm always constantly changing diapers, or constantly on the phone, or constantly doing paperwork. And she asked me, her name is Kristen, she asked me, she's like, Abby, when was the last time you did anything for yourself? And I said the same thing, like I laughed about it. I was like, I thought I didn't get to do that anymore, So she directs me into Corinthians, and Corinthians says, do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you received from God? You are not at all. You are not your own. You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. And I thought that was really powerful because, again, I like to teach people to be selfish. Right? We grow up all of our life being what? Selfless, right? To be like God is to be selfless. But when you really sit down and you talk to someone about what selfish means, sometimes if I asked you, Katie, would you, if my car was broke down and I needed a ride home, and you know what, I forgot my purse at home and my keys are locked, would you take me around to get that all taken care of? She would, right? Like, we haven't seen each other in forever, and I bet she'd probably do it for any of you guys because I know the type of person that she is. She's a selfless person. But if I said to you, Katie, would you just give yourself a whole day of spa? Just take whatever you love to do, get yourself $300, go shopping spree, do whatever, just solely for you, you would say what?
Panic attack.
She would say yes,
I would say
because
yes.
I do
I'd
that.
say panic
Awesome.
attack.
She would say perfect. So
I'd
then
say
we got to go
panic
to her,
attack.
right?
Yeah.
So, and this is what I always tell people about this. Most people, you agree with you, would go into panic attack. We don't have enough money. My kids need blank, right? We need groceries. I don't have enough time for that. It's no. But you would say
It's frugal.
It's frugal.
It's a waste.
Right, so here's what you gotta understand though. Now, maybe to you, spending sprees and all that are frugal, but what you gotta understand is you have to take care of yourself. Okay, so prime example, have you ever been in an airplane? Everybody been on an airplane before? You know, they go through, your X's are here, 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 and here, right? And then they talk about buckling yourself, and then what do they talk about? That oxygen mask. What's the first thing to say? When the oxygen mask comes down, what do they say? Put it on you first, and then put it on the kids. Now watch. Why do they say that? Because if you don't have oxygen, how are you going to be able to help anybody else? So part of what this is saying, what the Bible is saying, is that you have to take care of your own self to be able to take care of somebody else. Whether taking care of yourself, maybe it's not even spending a dime. Maybe it's just saying, you know what, kids? Do your own laundry today. You know what, kids? Pick out your own clothes. Maybe doing your laundry doesn't make sense, but pick out your own clothes today. I just met with a mom on Monday. She was having her moment literally in my office. She's bawling. Her husband works literally from construction in these hours upon hours, and she's got to make the food, she's got to pick up this, she's got to do all the dishes, she all this stuff, all the homework has to get done, and then hubby comes home, after all of that, after the kids are all in bed, and we had this conversation, and I said, what would be good? I said, you're ragged right now, aren't you? And of course she's like, yeah. And I said, what would be good to take care of you? And I'm like, what would an ideal day look like for you? And she's like, you know what I would just love? Someone to do the dishes. She's like, I just didn't have to be in the kitchen the whole night long. And I said, okay, perfect. And her kids are 7th grade, 4th grade, and 2nd grade. Bingo, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, your kids can do dishes. She's like, oh, no, they can't. That's my job. And I'm like, no. I said, your kids are old enough that they can do the dishes, So again, that moment of, I can have time to just sit down. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, And it was that thing of whether it's money, whether it's a spa day, whether it's just saying, at, this time I'm going to do this. It doesn't have to be about money, but it has to be about you. So do you do something just for you? No.
You exercise?
Not at the moment. I have too many orthopedic issues. I used to run.
Yeah, that's
No.
my thing. It's I finally started taking that time if I can exercise at least 40 minutes every day.
Yep.
I just feel so much
Yeah,
better.
something,
I have
yeah.
cancer.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
too many
happier with it.
family dynamics.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get myself around all of my family dynamics.
Perfect.
They're
And those are huge. Those are really huge. So family dynamics, there's no doubt about it, play a huge role in it. What I've also learned is that dynamics meaning you're taking care of this person, and you have to do this, you have to go here, you have to go there, you have to prepare, you have to do, is that what you're saying, all of that?
And work.
And work. Oh yeah, we forgot
And
about
my
work.
husband's a firefighter, so he's gone
Gone.
for hours
Yep.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you've got something big.
It's different.
It is, yeah. This is the thing, what I've realized too, a big thing, what research actually shows, and this is why I love about science too, that research actually shows if you just take 3 to 5 minutes a day for yourself, actually that improves your stress level. It decreases the actual hormones in your body that cause you to be stressed out. You know what I tell people? I'm doing a big talk this weekend, and I always talk about stress, and I say, what's one place most of the time you can go where nobody will bother you? The bathroom.
The bathroom.
I do. That's what I'll tell people. I say most of the time because sometimes you little kids, but most of the time people leave you alone in the bathroom. So sometimes when I have conversations with people like that say, Dr. Abby, it's impossible. I'm like, do you go to the bathroom? Yeah. I said, then you need to start doing some deep breathing while you go to the bathroom. You need to literally keep that door locked for 3 to 5 minutes, and you breathe in the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. For 5 minutes straight, and boom, that's one thing that you can do. It's not going to change any dynamics, it's not going to let go of anything, but what it's going to do over a period of time, your actual stress hormones, cortisol, and all those things will decrease in your body, which will then allow freedom more to help you. Try it.
Definitely.
Simple as that, because that's my thing. Everybody's so different, but if you're not taking care of yourself, there's no way. You may get there some point, but there's no way that you'll be able to take care of anybody else. More importantly, there's no way you'll be able to take care of the greater purpose for you, because you'll just be living, running through life day to day to day, miserable through the whole concept. So, again, the whole point of this that I want you guys to get is that balance doesn't mean perfection. Right? The big difference. Balance does not equal perfection. Okay? Nobody will be perfect. Sometimes your kids are going to have a wacky outfit on. My daughter today, we had her outfit all picked out. You know, of course, 3-year-olds, they decide to change immediately. So she literally wants to go to daycare in non-matching outfits. She wants to wear a skirt, no pants. She doesn't want to wear, she wants to wear sandals. I mean, this is how she is. So nobody's perfect. But again, when you can work on getting that routine down, finding the plan, keeping focused wherever your hands are, enjoy, wherever that's at, worry about the other stuff later. Second thing, work on quality time. Look at the life things, look at what's distracting you. What is that? What does that look like to you? Lock the door, don't let the neighbors come in, you know? No, this is our family time, set it in stone, keep it part of that, so that you can get that quality time, whatever it is. And then last but most important, put your mask on before you put anybody else's mask on. And if you just work on those 3 things over and over and over, you'll just keep getting better and better and better. Plain and simple. Questions? I talked really fast. Really fast. So questions? Well, let me tell you the other thing that I wanted to invite you guys to, because again, one of the things that I do as a chiropractor, yes, I work with a lot of people with pain, but I also work a lot of people with holistic approaches to things. I'm actually doing a full 3-hour seminar on creating the best year ever. So I actually am going to talk through steps on how to make goals and how to make your goals attainable. I'm going to talk through nutrition, I'm going to talk through detox, I'm going to talk through all of that. So if it's really something that's intriguing you or you guys are really wanting to work on it, tickets are usually $20, but for you guys I'm actually going to give you a free ticket if you want to come. It's this Saturday, that's the only thing. It's I know, super short notice, it's from 10 to 1, but if you do want to come to it and learn more about this, we have a 30-day challenge that comes after it. We've got vendors there, we've got a whole bunch of other really holistic approaches around Dubuque coming together and just saying, listen, what can we do to help with this concept? So let me know before I leave and I'll get you guys a ticket if you want to come to that too. So, questions?